So today we are going to learn. Let's read together. Unity in diversity, celebrating people and culture around the world. Okay, good. So this topic falls under the theme people and culture. So let's get into it. So this is our group members. So before we go into the connected speech, we are going to go more into what is our topic about. So our topic is about, in today's globalized world, it's more important than ever to appreciate and embrace this diversity. When we understand each other, we find common ground, and that foster respect, empathy, and unity. So let's embark on a journey to explore the richness of people and cultures around the globe, understanding how our differences make the world a more beautiful and connected place. Because diversity isn't just something to accept, it's something to celebrate. Okay, next. Now we are going into the connected speech, and first we are going to linking. So before we start, does any of you know what linking is? No. Okay, so let's see what linking is. Okay, linking is a feature of connected speech where a sound is added or used to connect two words smoothly, especially when the first word ends in a consonant and the next word begins with a vowel. It helps create a natural flow in speech. So, do you understand just from that? Yes. Yes? No? Yes. Okay. Let's furthermore your understanding with the examples that is given. So first we have, can you say it? Go on. Go on. Okay. Why not go on? How do you say it? Go on. Go on. So do you realize that there is another word at the middle of the word? So we have a W sound, correct? Yes. So the W sound is inserted between go and on, making it sound like go on. Okay, next we have you are. How do you pronounce it? You are. Okay. Again, there's like a subtle R sound in between you and R. So it makes it sound like you are. There's an R. Okay. Next.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Alright, so I'm going to present about intrusion. So what is intrusion? Intrusion is basically just an extra sound that you put between words to make sure that what you are saying comes out smoother and easier to pronounce. And this usually happens in day-to-day conversations or like casual speech, if you may. So I want to give you guys two examples to make you guys understand more about intrusion. So the first one is intrusive R. So what I mean by intrusive R is that it is usually said by people who have Australian or British accents. Like for example, when they say the idea of it, they would usually say the normal way of saying it, which is the idea of it. But people with accents such as British or Australian, they would say as the idea of it. Alright, so the second one is the intrusive J. You would feel weird, what is J over here? But J, you actually pronounce it as Y. So it's Y, not J. Alright, so for example, the words I agree, it might sound like I agree. Because the Y in it usually symbolizes the word yes. Because you want to say yes, but you're saying I agree. Alright, so I'm moving on to the next presenter.
Okay, good morning class. For the third aspect of connected speech is elision. Elision in connected speech is where the sound is dropped, firstly, or omitted, so that the speech is it flows more smoothly and naturally. So it often happens when speakers are difficult to pronounce when the words are together, especially in fast or casual speech. Okay, for example, example, in the words next day. Okay, how do you pronounce next day?
Next day.
Okay, now you pronounce it next day. But when you pronounce it in a sentence, for example, next day are you going to class? You don't really emphasize on the third sound. You would usually say next day. Okay. The same goes for I'm going to. It becomes I'm gonna. The two is reduced and it merges with the flow of the speech. And then the third example is friendship. Okay, try to pronounce friendship. Okay, now you emphasize on the third sound. So when you pronounce it in like when you're speaking, you would say friendship. So the third sound is omitted. Okay, next.
Hi guys, so for the next, we are going to focus on assimilation. As you understand, what assimilate means when two sounds become very similar to each other, they sound like one or they merge and become one. So an example of assimilation would be palatalization, which this process is called palatalization because when you pronounce certain words, your tongue moves closer to the palate of your mouth, which is the hard palate of your mouth, like if you realize when you pronounce words like that, your tongue moves closer to the palate of the mouth, right? So when the word ending with z is followed by a word beginning with y, they usually assimilate and become one, which is, how would you say could you? Could you, right? So even there you notice that there is an assimilation between the z and the y, the beginning y of the first word and the second word. So that's an example of assimilation. And you can maybe see this in rap songs where they want to make their songs sound more fluid or sound more flowy. Another example would be the prefix of in. Although it's spelled im, when you pronounce the words like immoral, impossible, right now it sounds like immoral, impossible, but when you're speaking really fast or in a sentence or just in a very casual setting, it will sound like immoral, impossible. Yeah. So this process makes it easier to pronounce the combinations of sounds, which can help me build the fluency of a speaker. So yeah, that's about assimilation.
Okay, hello everybody. Okay, so far how many elements of the connected speech have we learned? Sure or not?
Yes.
That's very good. What are the 4 elements that we learned? Okay, good job. Give yourself a round of applause. Okay, now we're coming to the last element, which is reduction. So it refers to a process where sounds in words or even the letter of the sound of the letter in the word are pronounced less clearly or with less emphasis, often resulting in shorter and simpler, weaker form of words. This typically happens in casual conversations. We don't do this in formal conversations, only when it's informal. And reduction occurs with sounds like vowels, consonants, and the entire syllables. The changes usually make a speech less formal but more natural. Okay, let's go. There will be 4 aspects that we are going to cover, which is the first one, vowel reduction. What's a vowel? Yes, good job. Okay, so it's unstressed vowel often changed to a schwa sound. What is the schwa sound? If we were to say vowel, we say E-I-O-U. If schwa sound? Yeah, okay, good job. Okay, so example 2. We want to get reduce the 2. So I want to go, it becomes I want to go. Okay, and yeah, okay, next. Okay, next is consonant reduction. What's a consonant? Good job. Yeah, as you can see. Yeah, okay, so some consonants are often softened or dropped. So going to? 1, 2? hear the Arab sound?
Yes.
Next. Okay, function word reduction. Function word. Example? Come on. No? Yeah, as you can see, the owl is presenting everything. Okay, so it's preposition, auxiliaries, and pronouns are often reduced because they carry less stress in a sentence. I'm not saying they're not important, but in a sentence, they are less important. Yeah. Okay, example. What are you doing? It changed to? What you doing? So what did we drop? R. And then one more. The G. Okay. Next. Okay, for the last one is contraction. Words are combined or shortened. This is used everywhere. He is, he's, I will. Okay, good job. Next. Okay, so why it happens? Reduction happens because spoken language is more about efficiency rather than precision. Like I said, this is for informal context, not for formal context. By focusing on stressed syllables and reducing unstressed ones, native speakers can communicate quickly while maintaining their intelligibility. Okay, so it's important for us to learn all this and use it. It helps us listen, to help us improve listening comprehension. We recognize reduced forms in natural conversation. And it also helps us speak fluently, sounding more natural and more fluid. Yeah.
Okay, so for the first example of character speech, firstly I want to ask, are you familiar with Harry Potter? Yes. The first movie. Okay, the first movie is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Next.
Happy Christmas, Harry. Happy Christmas, Ron. What are you wearing?
Okay, so if you notice, when they were wishing each other Happy Christmas, the third sound in Christmas is actually omitted. We can try pronouncing Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
So if you pronounce, so when you pronounce it, you would say Christmas, you don't pronounce the third sound in Christmas. So this is very common in spoken English because of the month, which is a nasal sound that follows the third sound. So when this happens, this makes the third sound less prominent. Okay, next example.
Oh,
One more.
you're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
Okay, so linking r in the your. Okay, try pronouncing your. Louder. Okay, try pronouncing r. So the end. So when you pronounce your, the end of your is r sound. So when this happens, and the following sound is which is pronounced as a vowel sound. Pronounced So when this happens, the sound connects the two words, making it sound like you're a wizard. You don't say you're a wizard. Okay, you say you're okay. Okay, next example.
You've got dirt on your nose, by the way. Did you know? Just now.
Okay, assimilation happens when the consonant of a word, when the consonant at the end of a word, it follows the neighboring sound. So, in this example, it is got dirt. So, the third sound at the end of got, it assimilates to the third sound at the start of dirt. If you notice earlier when Hermione says, you've got dirt on your nose. So, this happens because both third and third sounds are alveolar sounds. What are alveolar sounds? It is the sounds that are produced at the same place in the mouth. Okay, just refresh your mind, Fabiola. So when this happens, it makes the sound got dirt becomes got dirt. You don't get it? Okay, try to say you've got dirt on your mouth, on your nose. You've got dirt on your nose. The test sound assimilates to the death sound. Okay, you can see it now, right? Okay, next example. Oh, we finished the example already. Okay, so our theme is unity and people and culture, emphasizing on unity in diversity. So in Harry Potter, you must be wondering, okay, why does this relate to unity and diversity? Okay, why? It's because people in Hogwarts is where people from different backgrounds, like they are muggles who are non-witches and they are also witches. So when they come together, they share the same goal in Hogwarts, which is learning magic. So they learn to work together, celebrating the unique talents. This diversity enriches the magical world and underscores the importance of unity and mutual respect in building a strong, inclusive community. Okay, next media.
Hi again. Alright, so my example is from Phil Ellis's Diversity. So it is from a stand-up comedy. So I hope you guys enjoy it just like I did.
So, in order to discuss 2 seconds, I'd like to do it through the medium of something. Ready now?
Alright, so the first example is that I want to talk about is inclusion. If you guys were paying attention to the video, he said so in order to discuss. The word so, he did not say it as so only. He actually added a W. So that's where the intrusion comes from. It usually happens when we want to glide into another set of sentence, which is in order to discuss. So instead of saying so, he said so. Yeah. So next one.
Diversity, that's the name of the game. I'm going to have to take this because I've been waiting. I'm changing my tariff and I've been waiting for like.
Alright, so the next example is for reduction. So he said, I'm gonna have to take this. Before this, when you did reduction, she said that reduction is when you reduce a certain sentence. So the sentence is actually supposed to be, I'm going to, but he shortened it to become gonna. So because he's saying it in casual speech. Alright, so next.
I'm going to have to take this because I've been waiting. I'm changing my tariff and I've been waiting for like 2 weeks for this. Sorry, right. 2 seconds. Hello?
Alright, so you guys are maybe like weirded out why I took mostly the same clip, but we have another one in the same clip, which is elision. So for elision, he said because I've been waiting. So he's basically saying waiting, but he just dropped the G. So the G sound in waiting is dropped entirely in fast
the next media is a dream world of inclusion. So, have you ever heard the song of A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman? Okay, let's hear it like 1 minute, the first 1 minute, okay?
With Phonology and CEG for 10 times faster reconnection. S26 Go progress.
I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting for me, that I call my home. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say about my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in the world that we design. 'Cause every night the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Okay, so that's the song for like the first minute. Next slide.
Down, is there?
Okay, so let's see the connected speech that can be found in the song.
Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's.
Okay, so from here, the lyric through the dark, through the door, it has the connected speech of linking. How? Okay. The K in the dark links into the in through, making it sound like dark through. So do you realize that there's a comma, and when he sings it through the dark, through the door. He doesn't stop. He link it together so that it would be much more, the flow is much more smoother. Okay, next.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head.
Okay, so next one is every night I lie in bed. So the T in night may be dropped when spoken or sung quickly, making it sound like night I lie in bed. So it's an elision because they dropped the T, they didn't pronounce the T. Instead of saying every night I lie in bed, he sings it every night I lie in bed. Is there a T sounds?
Oh.
Okay. Next.
Million dreams are keeping me.
So for this one, a million dreams are keeping me awake. First, they have two in the same lyric. So first we have reduction. So in the lyrics of "in the million dreams are keeping me awake," the word "are" become very weak and sounds like So instead of like A, I, O, U, the vowel consonant and the vowel one, it becomes So it connects smoothly to keeping. So it sounds like in million dreams are keeping me A million dreams are keeping me awake. It sounds like a million dreams are keeping me awake. There's no prominent sound of R. Okay, and then you realize that there's an assimilation too. A million dreams are keeping me awake. The sound of dreams might blend into the K in keeping, something like dreams. Instead of dreams keeping, it's become dreams. Okay. And that's all from me. Okay. So the conclusion, how does the song A Million Dreams connect to our topic? So the song A Million Dreams remind us of the power of imagination and hope to create a world where everyone belongs. Because even in the first few minutes of the song, we can see that he sings about, he dreams of the world where everything is fair, everyone is included. So it envisions a future where differences are not barriers but opportunities to connect, learn and grow together. Just as the song celebrates dreaming of a better, more inclusive world, we too can play a part in building it by embracing diversity and celebrating the unique cultures and traditions of others. We create a world that is richer, kinder and more vibrant. And that's all from me. Next presenter.
So hi guys, the next one will be about spoken word. I need everyone to really watch this because I'm only going to play it once. Yeah. Okay.
The first time I saw her, everything in my head went quiet. All the ticks, all the constantly refreshing images just disappeared. When you have obsessive compulsive disorder, you don't really get quiet moments. Even in bed, I'm thinking that watch her again, watch it again, watch her again, watch it again. When I saw her, the only thing I could think about was the hairpin curve of her lips, or the eyelash on her cheek, the eyelash on her cheek, the eyelash on her cheek. I knew I had to talk to her. I asked her 6 times in 30 seconds. She said yes after the third one, but another one felt right, so I had to keep going. On our first date, I spent more time organizing my meal by color than I am eating, or fucking talking to her. But she loved it. She loved that I could kiss her goodbye 16 times or 24 times if it was Wednesday. She loved it for me from every walk home because there are lots of cracks on her sidewalk. When we moved in together, she said she felt safe, like no one would ever rob us because I definitely locked the door 18 times. I opened her mouth when she talked, when she talked, when she talked, when she talked, when she talked. When she said she loved me, her mouth would curl up with the edges. At night, she'd lay in bed and watch me turn the lights off. No. She'd close her eyes and imagine the days and nights were just passing in front of her. Some mornings, I start kissing her goodbye, she'd just leave as I was getting late for work. When I stopped at a crack in the sidewalk, she just kept walking. When she said she loved me, her mouth was a straight line. She told me I was taking up too much of her time. Last week, she started sleeping at her mother's place. She told me that she shouldn't have let me get so attached to her. This whole thing was a mistake. But how can it be a mistake that I don't have to wash my hands after I touch her? It's not a mistake. She was born away from it, and I just can't. I can't go out and find someone new because I always think of her. Usually, when I obsess over things, I see germs sneaking into my skin. I see myself crushed by an endless obsession of cars because she was the first beautiful thing I ever got stuck on. I want to wake up every morning thinking about the way she holds her steering wheel, how she turns shower out when she's opening the safe, how she pulls out candy, 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 pulls out. Now, I just think about who else is kissing her. I can't breathe because he only kisses her once. He doesn't care if it's perfect. I want her back so bad. I leave the door on. I leave the lights on.
So that was a spoken word about someone with OCD, and we're going to see even how people with OCD, they still have connected speech, or it's more prominent when it comes to people with OCD, especially when they experience tics. So the first would be admission. When he said, did I lock the door? Yes, I did wash my hands. Yes, I did lock the door. Yes, I did wash my hands. So he said, as you can see, it was a really fast-paced speech. So he said, did I lock the door? In rapid speech, the D in the D can be dropped. So it's like, did I lock the door? You don't really pronounce the D. Although like he said as did I lock the door, when he says it really fast, eventually it sounds like did I lock the door. Yeah, next. So next would be linking, when he said I asked her out. So it's commonly pronounced with asked her. But when he says it really fast in the speech, it sounds like asked her, asked her. So the K eventually drops and then it sounds like a H and T sound, asked her. Yeah. And then reduction. So this is a sort of when he shortens the word I always watch. Or yeah. So in a normal sentence, or normally we would say I had, and the D is the end of the sentence. But then when in terms like spoken poetry or spoken word, where a performance is really fast-paced, it will then be shortened to I. So it will combine with the following vowel sound, always producing a very smooth connection to make their spoken word more fluent or more flowy. Next. And the last one we have is intrusion. So there was one sentence where he said she loved that I had to kiss her goodbye, but then eventually it sounded like she loved with a R, which is an intrusion in the speech. So the intrusive sound R added between love and that makes the transition smoother in the vowel ending in love and the vowel starting with that. So it's love that, but when it comes to performative speech, love that, so that it becomes smoother. Next. Yeah.
Okay, so we have come to the last part of this session, and can you guess who did I pick? Is it a song? Is it a movie? Especially with this person here. Okay, let's see the lyrics of this song. Who? What's the name of the song? Hey, good job! Give yourself a round of applause. So I took Count on Me by Bruno Mars because I'm a fan of Bruno Mars. Okay, and next. So why did I choose Bruno Mars? First things first, his song is very universal and it goes globally. So meaning that there are different cultures of different people of different background listening to the same music, and they are also in tune to the music because it has more than 2.2 billion views. Okay? And for cultural reference, Bruno Mars is actually mixed cultural heritage, which adds on that, showcasing cultural diversity and connection. The last is we can find all the connected speech elements in this song. Okay, let's get into it. Next.
You can count on me now. 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. Oh yeah.
Okay, next. So just by that verse, that 4 lines, we actually can go into 5 different elements. Okay, reduction for reduction is, you can see, you can count on me. The me is not M-E, it's M-E. So it's me. It's M-E. Yeah, okay? So, and also on me. If you, can you sing that line? You can? On me is like, it's together, right? Because they have, this gap is actually reduced. Okay, next. Okay, for contraction is I'll be there, I'll. You're my friend, you're. When you're not strong, you're. Yeah. Okay, next. For elision is dropping sound. You can count. You don't say the count, no, right? So you're dropping the correct. And I know when I need it. You don't do the d. And yeah, so the d is dropped. Next. Okay, linking. Actually, this is actually very, very simple. It's not just the sound, but it's also the tune of it. So count on me like 1, 2, 3. The t for count is taken off, but it links to the sound on. So count on. So you don't have the T, but you actually together. Okay? Understand? Understand? Okay, next. Okay, and the last one is intrusion. I know I can count on you. You don't say you, it's you.
Yeah.
If you really listen properly, yeah, it's not they. When they say in the sentence, it's not I want to go with you. You. It's not. It's, I want to go with you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next. Okay. So in conclusion, understanding connected speech through diverse media. As you can see, we have movie, we have spoken words, and we also have music videos. It enhances our ability to communicate across cultural boundaries. You see, English is an amazing language. So use it wisely. The natural use of reduction, contraction, elision, linking, and intrusion in songs, movies, and spoken media highlights how language adapts for smooth, efficient communication. By analyzing these elements, like in the songs Kanami, A Million Dreams, movies like Harry Potter, we see how connected speech mirrors the way cultures form bonds through fluid, harmonious connections that unite people despite linguistic or cultural differences. Ultimately, learning connected speech not only improves language skills but also deepens our appreciation of how the language reflects and bridges cultural ties. So I hope you have learned something today. What are the 5 elements again? Okay. Good. So now we will open the time for question and answers. So yeah, you can pass up you can ask your question.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
Can the words under reduction that is used for connected speech disrupt the actual meaning of the word?
Me. Okay. I cannot say that it disrupts the meaning, but it can give misunderstanding. Okay, let's say I'm going to say I'm gonna. It can be I'm going to, or I'm going to do, or I'm going to a place. It can be out of context. You don't know, right? So it can be clear to us because we all are we speak English on a daily basis. But for native speakers, how are you going to communicate? They might not understand what you actually want. So I wouldn't say that it will take away the meaning, but it can lead to a lot of confusion. Hope that answers your question.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
I have a question. So there's elision and reduction, right? So what is the difference between those two?
Okay, so elision is more of dropping the sound. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll answer that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to elision, it emphasizes more on the sound being completely omitted because the sound is not there. But for reduction, the sound is weaker, but it is not hear it that much because we can as compared to illusion is completely omitted.
So, illusion is throwing away.
Yes.
But reduction is like
You hide in a way.
I understand. Next question.
What is the difference between linking and intrusive sound? Oh, alright. So basically, linking is you use a sound that is in the sentence already. While intrusion, you use a sound that is eliminating the sentence. Yeah. So that's basically what it is.
Yes. Why do I find it hard to hear linking in fast speech? Okay, so linking most of the time it depends on the flow and the stress that the person speaks. And you're not the only one who struggle to recognize if a speech have a linking connected switch or not. Because most of the time it happens very fast, and sometimes you must really focus and listen to it multiple times just so that you can hear the linking part of the speech. So like so it's okay if you are struggling to hear it because it is expected, but if you want to really improve, then I would say that pay more attention on the speech, like in songs or movies, and then you can, when you pay more attention and maybe you will become more accustomed to hearing it, like the word go on, the more, and especially after you know that, oh, there is a W sound in the middle. After that, you kind of can immediately spot it when someone